Okay, I'm not drinking a homebrew, I'm too tired. I'm too tired to start doing reviews and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. Fancied a beer, bit of a waffle. Basically I was doing water for my next brew. And I just had to bring back this shit and I just fancied a beer, so what are you going to do? The whole drinking during the week thing? This is not a good start. Still, we've got Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. Aye. I'll be drinking Friday. Okay, so that's Rustbucket basically, Kennegar. Brilliant brewery. The only bad thing about it is those bottles. I really hate those bottles. They're just too big. They're too big. If I showed you them beside a normal beer bottle. Okay, this is a normal beer bottle, and then that's the Kennegar one. It's too big, basically. Which is a problem for the beer fridge, because then I have to bring the layer above up, because it can't go down any lower. And I've got a little tray where all the kind of yeast goes in there, and it goes in perfectly when it's on the lower one, but it has to be all kind of tilted and stuff to forced in, you know, really kind of punch the thing in. And it's all because of them bottles. And Frank will find this funny, but I basically had loads of those bottles sitting about, and I thought, a very clever thing. I knew Frank was coming around, so I bottled like loads of all my big bottles and sent them over to Frank. And yeah, then he came with a load of bottles, and they were all them fucking ones. So yeah, not all of them, like, but a good number. God, that's nice. Packaged the 19th of June. I think I'm going to have to drink one of those. Or going to have to, attempt one of those. Again, I haven't done one of those in ages. Or maybe the red rye IPA, which is pretty much what that is, isn't it? But my version of it, because I haven't done that in ages, and I've got some rye up there to use up. I should probably start thinking ahead as to my brew days. I haven't planned really any further than one beer, which is going to be my next beer. And it's a New England IPA. It's 2020's New England IPA, because I only ever make one a year. It's not strictly true, like, but I think, yeah, that might be on the horizon. Red rye IPA. I used to do it with a Quebec. I don't know if I'll do it with a Quebec. Maybe do it with something else. I'm doing a New England IPA next. It's going to be using WLP 644. I've got a fresh batch of it in. It's actually upstairs. I put a starter on. I was supposed to be brewing it the weekend past, but I had an issue with my water filter. The last time I was using it, which is a good few weeks ago. Oh god, I'm just taking it off the tap and it's all dripping all over me. So yeah, it was really windy that day, and I had it sitting up on top of the table, the patio table, and it just blew over, and it landed straight on top of that little connector there and broke, which was a bit of a pain in the arse. So I figured I'd be able to get a part, which I did. I did get the part finally, but not without some kind of, like, there's actually water in my shoe now from that fucking thing. I did get the right part, but not without trouble. So they measure these out in the imperial measuring system. They're John Guest fittings, so must be being made in the United States, and that's why they're using them. But that whole system is just, it's like a mystery to me. It was a problem when I was doing the Kaiser, trying to get the lines and all, trying to understand what all those crazy things meant. And this was no different. The first batch I got of these weren't the right size, and God knows I measured the thing, and I bloody measured it and measured it again, and it wasn't the right size. So then I had to, like, research and try and find out why it wasn't the right size. And basically, I knew what size the push fit was, which is 1/4 of an inch, but it was the screw bit that I was a bit confused about. Measuring tape. So if I measure this, So you're supposed to measure the outside, according to the internet, the outside of the thread from each side and see what it is. But when I measure it, it comes in as 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. If those measurements are right, then that's 3/8 of an inch, which is what I ordered the first time, but that's not what arrived. And when I looked on the internet, it said something like the sizing on this, you have to size down, which is just insane. Why would you size? So if you're looking for like 3/8 of an inch, it has to be a size down, which is 1/4 of an inch, I thought. Turns out it's not 1/4 of an inch. That little part there is 1/8 of an inch. How the hell do they get 1/8 of an inch from that? I mean, they must be measuring the actual plastic, not the whole ring, just the one bit of plastic from edge to edge. How is anyone supposed to know that? How the hell is anyone supposed to know that? When that's 1/4 of an inch and you're measuring the diameter, then why would that be 1/8 of an inch and you're measuring the actual size of the thread? What the hell, like? And you've got to measure that. What? You know what I mean? It's insanity. It's insanity. I think my worst fear, you know what my worst fear is? My worst fear is that when Brexit finally kicks in, which is the end of this year probably, is that we're going to go back to that ridiculously stupid system, and I am not going to know my arse from my elbow. And the Brexit police will be there for me talking about things in millimeters, centimeters, because it's so much easier to understand. Everything you're counting in tens, you're counting in hundreds. I mean, come on. But we're not here to talk about the bloody metric system. The New England IPA, we now have the water for it. So I think I'm going to take a day off, or 2 days off during the week. I'm not taking any proper holidays this year, obviously with the whole COVID situation. So I'm taking days here and there. I think anyone that goes on holiday, and I know a few of my subscribers are on holiday in foreign climes right now, are just mental. I mean, going away to a foreign country when all this crazy shit's going on just seems a bit insane to me. Because as you've seen, if you go to Spain and then the government suddenly say no, Spain's on the blacklist, then you know what, you're supposed to come back and do 14 days quarantine, which, I mean, who's going to police that as well too? So we keep getting sidetracked. So I'm going to take a day off. I think this week we'll have a brew day that day. It's going to be the New England IPA. So we're doing 644. Now 644 is not a New England IPA used. I have used it before. I believe I should have checked this before I put the video out, but I believe it was like a rye IPA or something. But yeah, it wasn't quite. It was really nice and fruity, as it normally is, but it was a bit dry, and it was like a tart finish. So I think this time, because I love that yeast so much, I really want to use it. I really want it to work. I've got a load of dextrose up there. Well, I've got about 500 or 600 grams of it, so I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to put in some oats. I'm going to put in some flake barley. I'm going to just basically put all the shit of the day into it to try and get it to finish high, so it doesn't finish too low. This is the first generation too as well. What I'm making a starter for now, and then I'm going to change the recipe as well. So with the original, it's kind of all mosaic. Mosaic really works well with that yeast. Works bloody amazingly well with that yeast. But I'm going to put in some Galaxy. I've got some Galaxy. I can't remember what year it is. 2018s or something like that. Got some Galaxy I need to use up. And I think that whenever I use Galaxy, I find it to be really kind of aggressive really kind of, it's like tries to take over everything. It's a bit like Columbus really in that sense. So I was thinking of how am I going to use the Galaxy without the Galaxy. You know, I want the kind of fruitiness of the Galaxy, but there's also this kind of dank side as well. And I was thinking like maybe mixing it with a Mosaic, which does also have a dank side, and that's 644 yeast, which is brilliant because you get the same kind of, like the same kind of flavourings, not exactly the same, but it's the kind of same ballpark on those two hops. So I'm thinking just doing that, and then hopefully we'll do a low oxygen transfer as well. Now I don't have like I don't ferment under pressure. I just have plastic buckets. I do have a plastic bucket. I don't with the with no hole in the top. I don't use airlocks or anything like that. So I'm gonna put it on. I leave it open a crack to let all the kind of CO2 escape at the beginning, and then I'll close it. And then when we'll crush it, and then we'll get it hooked up, and we will get it into the keg that way. I have done that one time before, but it didn't go very well, and it was incredibly slow transfer. So we're going to try that again. I'll take video of it this time, and we'll see if we can get a kind of a proper colour New England IPA, because the other ones I've done have been they definitely had a bit of a grey kind of stain to them, let's say. In terms of malts, I don't have low colour malt. I've only got kind of Maris Otter is probably the lowest, which is about 5 or 6 EBC. So, but I'm sure that'll be fine. So, yeah, that is the plan. After that, I'll say I don't know. Possibly that red IPA. But I don't have any plans at all, which is very unusual for me because normally I'm like 3 or 4 brews ahead, but at the minute I'm really not. Yeah, so that's all. Cheers. Meteors, as Clive would say.